All right, so the Mets again, they lost again to the Nationals 4-1. They scored one run over the last two games. Now this is a trend that sort of has popped up again, where the Mets have struggled. They've lost four in a row. They lost the last two on the road trip to the Giants, and now they've lost two in a row. To go to the four in a row to the Nationals. We see a theme with the Mets, and it's always they don't score, they don't hit with men on base. This has been a concern for mine for a long time, and even before I did any kind of like YouTube videos. But we see this issue when the Mets don't get any kind of offense from their two big guys, and tonight Lindor and Alonso went 0 for 8 with two strikeouts. They had the ability to come back in this game. Again, Marte struck out. Marte's not played well. There's something not right about him. I know that he's been playing, but he doesn't quite look healthy to me. He looks uncomfortable at the plate. But this team, like I've said, when the Mets don't score runs, it's a real struggle. And it's not because of some kind of simplistic attitude. When the Mets don't hit with men on base, they don't drive the ball out of the ballpark, it's a real struggle. Now, the pitching has not been good. The starting pitching has not been good. Even though Kodai Senga went in 5 innings today, it was a struggle. He walked 5 batters in this game. He walked a lot of batters in his previous start. The Mets have walked a lot of batters in the last 2 games. The starting pitching has not been good, quite frankly. And not having Max Scherzer here, he's been, obviously he's been suspended. We know that Justin Verlander has not started yet. He's gonna, I guess he's gonna pitch on Friday, some kind of like simulated game or whatever. But right now, this team has to find a way to pitch better. And obviously, when they don't score runs, they don't drive the ball in with men on base, it's gonna be a real struggle. It was a real struggle on Monday night. What was it, 1 for 13 with men in scoring position? And tonight they had fewer hits than they did last night. And they scored one run. Just think about that. They scored 1 run in 18 innings against a bad team. Even though the Nationals have some talent, some young talent, they are a bad team. When you have Dom Smith playing first, and he has nothing to his game right now, then there's a problem, Now, Mackenzie Gore pitched pretty good in this game today. Josiah Gray pitched really well last night. But be that as it may, this is a trend. This is a Mets team that's expected to get to postseason. This is a team that's expected to actually score more runs than they have. They had a statistic in today's game. The Mets have not scored a run in the first inning in the last 16 games. That is unacceptable. Last year, they were money in the bank. They would score runs very quickly. They also mentioned during the game that the Mets have stolen, the top 3 guys in the Mets lineup have stolen 12 bases. You should score runs in the first inning if you're doing that. Last night, they made the excuse, well, the Mets were flat. Maybe it was the pitching that made them flat. Maybe Gray, the way he was pitching, made them flat. But they looked flat again tonight. They didn't look good again tonight. And they haven't really looked good in 4 games, quite frankly. The road trip was pretty good. I was very pleased with the road trip the Mets had. Going to California, the 7-3 trip is pretty good. But it's just so weird. The Mets come home, they don't hit. And this goes back to even Shea Stadium days. They would struggle to score runs at home. I don't know what it is sometimes. But they should have been able to do better tonight against not a very good team. Let's be honest. I mean, they're not as bad as the A's, but they're not going to win more than 70 games this year. And as you know, they're going to be going up against the Braves this weekend, and that's not going to be easy. And they have a road trip coming up against a lot of bad teams, like the Tigers, the Rockies. They'll be going to Washington again. They'll be playing the Reds. So they'll be playing some teams that they should be able to play well against. But again, they should not have been in a situation where they score 1 run and 18 innings against the Nationals. That is unacceptable. It's just unacceptable at this point. I know it's early in the season, but there's something, I don't know, that, as well as they play on the road trip, something's missing with this team. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. But we'll see. They need to get healthy. They need to get Scherzer back on the mound. They need to get Verlander on the mound and get them warmed up and get them going. Have a few turns in the rotation and get this offense going. But like I said, something's missing. Something, I can't put my finger on it. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, how can we see a better product here? But I feel like this team is missing something from last year. Not quite figuring out what that is just yet. But you let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about that. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Thank you. And I'll see you later.